What started as a simple social media spat between two young celebrities has
And about that cease and desist, make sure your daddy has the right email address. Because, he's the one that cleans up all your messes.
Imagine this. Two Gen Z stars drop diss tracks, then suddenly their mothers are fighting online, and even Kanye West gets dragged into the middle of it all.
AI beef, people throwing my voice on things, the whole carnival sample. I just talked to Travis Barker. I would never be in the middle. I don't even know what's going on.
The Alabama Barker and Bhad Bhabie beef just took a turn that has the entire internet talking. And wait until you hear about the shocking allegation that had everyone's jaws on the floor. I've been following this drama since day one, and today I'm breaking down exactly how we got here, who said what, and why this feud might be one of the messiest in recent celebrity history.
Girl, how you gonna hate on the industry when your auntie has a whole leak tape busting it down? So you called me a porn star, but how do you know what I be posting? Are you subscribed? Are you a fan? Do I get your money once a month? Or should I say your daddy's money?
If you think you know the whole story, I promise there are details you haven't heard yet. Let's start with some quick context for anyone who needs a refresher. Alabama Barker is Travis Barker's daughter, who's been building her own social media presence and music career lately. Bhad Bhabie, formerly known as the Cash Me Outside girl, has established herself as a legitimate recording artist over the past few years. These two once seemed to have no issues with each other, but that changed dramatically when rumors surfaced about Alabama getting close with LV, who happens to be Bhad Bhabie's baby daddy. Now, I've always tried to remain neutral in this situation. I'm not Team Alabama or Team Bhad Bhabie. I just report what I see and give my honest opinions. And honestly, this situation keeps making me flip-flop because new information emerges almost daily. The beef officially went public when Bhad Bhabie released her first diss track aimed at Alabama. I remember listening to it and thinking, is this really the best she can do? The track felt rushed and underwhelming, especially given Bhad Bhabie's experience in the music industry. Surprisingly, Alabama's response track actually impressed a lot of people, myself included. Despite having less musical experience, Alabama came through with better lyrics and delivery on that first round. But here's where things get really interesting. Bhad Bhabie wasn't about to let Alabama have the last word. She returned with a second diss track that completely changed the game. This one spread like wildfire across TikTok, with most listeners agreeing that Bhad Bhabie absolutely demolished Alabama this time around. The track was sharper, more personal, and showed off Bhad Bhabie's street-smart wordplay. While the song itself was fire, I have to keep it real about the music video. It was a mess. The styling, the makeup, the overall production quality, it all felt off. I was sitting there thinking, girl, let me help you with your look, because this is not it. But despite the visual shortcomings, the song itself had everyone talking, and Alabama found herself on the receiving end of intense backlash. What did Alabama do in response to this backlash? Something that really surprised me. She turned off all her comments on TikTok. This is where I have to question her strategy. If you're going to enter a public beef with another celebrity, especially one with Bhad Bhabie's following, you need to be prepared for the heat. Turning off your comments just makes it look like you can't handle the pressure. Think about it this way. Engagement is engagement, whether positive or negative. All those comments, even the haters, boost your visibility and algorithm ranking. Alabama positioning herself as tough enough to start this beef, but then hiding from the consequences doesn't add up, especially when you consider that she grew up with privilege and is trying to present this hardened image that doesn't align with her actual background. Now, you might be wondering how this relatively straightforward beef between two young women escalated to involve their families. Well, prepare yourself, because this is when the drama reached new heights. As Alabama continued to receive criticism online, her mother, Shanna Moakler, decided it was time to step in. She posted a TikTok using an audio clip that essentially said, "My daughter's not a fighter, but I am." The implication was clear. Shanna was warning Bhad Bhabie to back off her daughter. This maternal intervention could have been the end of it, but instead it prompted Bhad Bhabie's mother, Barbara Brigoli, to enter the fray. Remember, it wasn't that long ago that Bhad Bhabie was literally fighting with her mom at home after drama with this same baby daddy, LV. So seeing Barbara publicly defend her daughter now shows they've apparently reconciled enough to present a united front. Barbara posted to her Instagram stories directly addressing Shauna's comments. She wrote something to the effect of, her daughter claiming to be a rapper, starting a beef, then running to her daddy is what's happening. Barbara wasn't holding back, and she wasn't finished either. What happened next took this online argument to a whole new level. Barbara actually leaked private DMs between herself and Shauna, giving us all a behind-the-scenes look at how the mothers were trying to handle this situation before it went completely public. In these messages, Shauna reached out saying, "Hello, Barbara. It's nice to meet you. This wasn't meant for you or your daughter. I would think you would want to find resolution for both of them. I'm not slandering your daughter or spreading vicious lies about her. As someone whose BD cheated on her, I can understand your daughter's pain, but this is not the way." Barbara's response was direct. "I'm not sure what you mean. What's not the way? Posting to me publicly and telling my daughter to close her legs? I wish you would have just reached out to me personally." Shauna replied with, "Listen to your post of the voiceover. You can say it wasn't directed towards my daughter, and I'll disagree. This isn't about cheating, but the girl code. Your daughter was well aware of who he was. That's why she unfollowed and blocked my daughter on social media." This exchange highlights a crucial part of this beef that I felt strongly about from the beginning. Even if Bhad Bhabie and Alabama weren't close friends, there's still an unspoken code about getting involved with someone's ex, especially when a child is involved. Alabama knew exactly who LV was and his relationship to Bhad Bhabie, which makes her actions seem deliberately provocative. To be lying with your former friend's baby daddy on social media is crossing a major line, regardless of whether you're beefing or not. And just when you thought this drama couldn't possibly involve more high-profile names, Kanye West entered the picture. Yes, you read that correctly. Kanye West somehow got caught up in this Gen Z feud. And the way it happened is fascinating. For her second diss track, Bhad Bhabie used a sample from one of Kanye's songs, which isn't unusual in hip-hop. What was surprising was that Kanye apparently cleared the sample for her to use. But the story didn't end there. Bhad Bhabie later posted something suggesting that Kanye had not only cleared the sample, but had actually recorded a verse for her track. This claim sent shockwaves through social media. People were stunned that Kanye West, one of the biggest names in music, would choose to involve himself in this particular beef. The connection became even more intriguing when you consider the complicated web of relationships. Alabama is now connected to the Kardashian family through her father, Travis Barker's marriage to Kourtney Kardashian, while Kanye, of course, was married to Kim Kardashian before their highly publicized divorce. The potential for Kanye to side with Bhad Bhabie against someone connected to the Kardashian family created a perfect storm of celebrity drama. However, Kanye eventually addressed these rumors himself, stating, "I'm not in the middle of none of this AI beef. People throwing my voice on things, the whole carnival sample. I just talked to Travis Barker. I would never be in the middle. I don't even know what's going on. I just got sent a song and asked if I could clear the sample. The only reason why I clear anything is because so many people try to stop me. They stop clearances. Everything has been very difficult for me. So if anybody asks me for something, I always clear. But I'm not cool with being put in the middle of all this at all. So any verse going viral using my voice and all that, I didn't do it." Kanye's clarification doesn't completely eliminate questions about his willingness to clear a sample for a track directly attacking someone connected to his former in-laws. Was it just Kanye being generous with clearances as he claimed, or was there some subtle shade involved in his decision? The internet certainly has its theories. Now, this next part is what really shocked everyone online and took the beef to an entirely new level of serious accusations. In Bhad Bhabie's second diss track, she made some extremely serious allegations about Alabama, including claims about a potential pregnancy. These allegations were severe enough that Alabama felt compelled to address them directly. Alabama posted a video response saying, "I've never had a sonogram, I've never been pregnant. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. Show me the proof of me being pregnant or of me having an abortion." And Bhad Bhabie's first diss track gained traction. Her fans flooded Alabama's comments. Similarly, when Alabama's response track performed well, Bhad Bhabie received her share of negative comments. The difference was in how they handled it. Bhad Bhabie kept her comments open, perhaps understanding that this is simply part of the game when you engage in public beef. Alabama, on the other hand, closed off that avenue for engagement when the tide turned against her. This raises questions about whether she truly understood what she was getting into when she decided to battle someone who built their brand on being confrontational. Before I share my final thoughts on this whole situation, there's one more element I find particularly interesting about Alabama's music. Having listened to her previous work and comparing it to her diss track, I can't help but wonder if she's working with a ghostwriter. The quality and style of her diss track seems significantly different from her earlier material. Of course, artists evolve, but such a dramatic improvement in lyrical ability often raises eyebrows in the music industry. So where does all of this leave us? What started as a seemingly straightforward conflict between two young women has expanded to involve their mothers, questions about AI and Kanye West, serious allegations, and broader discussions about privilege and authenticity in the hip-hop space. In my honest opinion, this beef has gone on far too long and escalated well beyond what either party likely intended at the outset. What could have been a quick exchange of diss tracks, a time-honored tradition in hip-hop, has morphed into something messier and potentially more damaging to both parties involved. Alabama seems to be learning the hard way that presenting a certain image online requires consistency. You can't position yourself as tough enough to engage in rap beef, but then hide from the consequences when things get heated. Similarly, Bhad Bhabie may have won the battle with her second diss track, but making serious allegations without proof risks undermining her credibility in the long run. As for the mothers getting involved, while it's natural to want to protect your child, their intervention has only added fuel to an already blazing fire. Sometimes the best parenting move might be to guide your children toward de-escalation rather than jumping into the fray yourself. What do you think about this ongoing drama? Has it gone too far, or are you eagerly awaiting Alabama's next diss track? Do you believe Kanye was really just being generous with his sample clearance, or was there more to that story? And most importantly, when does internet beef cross the line from entertaining content to genuinely harmful behavior? This whole situation reminds us that in the age of social media, conflicts that might once have remained private now play out on a global stage, with real consequences for everyone involved. As viewers and commentators, we get to watch the drama unfold, but we should also remember that behind the posts and diss tracks are real people navigating complex emotions and relationships. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Alabama, Team Bhad Bhabie, or do you think they both need to move on to something more productive? I'll catch you in the next one.